Good morning, all. Today we are going to talk about the underwriting of shares. So, before going to talk about the in details of underwriting of shares, first we will discuss what is the meaning of the underwriting of the shares. So, the definition of underwriting of shares is that underwriting it is an agreement which has been done by a company with one or more person called underwriters who can undertake the whole or certain percentage of unsubscribed shares or debentures for certain percentage of remuneration called underwriting commission. So here the agreement is happening between one company with one or two person and the name of the second party known as underwriter, and they are undertaking the unsubscribed shares, and in exchange they are taking some of the remuneration which is known as underwriting commissions. So the formal definition of underwriters are: underwriters are those who underwrite the shares or debenture issued by the public companies. It can be individuals or it can be a financial institutions. Underwriting commission. The underwriters are entitled to some consideration for the risk they undertake in underwriting the shares or debentures called as underwriting commission. So here, when the underwriters will purchase the unsubscribed shares, they are charging some commissions. So here, the commissions are different based on shares and debentures. In case of shares, the maximum commission is 5%, but in case of debentures, the maximum commission is 2.5%. So next we are going to talk about the functions of underwriters. So here we are going to talk about the four functions of underwriter. First one is risk selection, classification and rating, policy forms, and retention and reinsurance. So first we will discuss about the risk selection. The first function of an underwriter is to select the risk that insurer will accept. This involves the gathering factual information from the applicant and evaluating it to determine whether the risk is acceptable or not. Underwriters rely on the list of acceptable and prohibited risks to help them make this decision. So in this case, the underwriters will help their client in selection of the risk. So whether the risk is more or less based on that they are recommending their client. Next, we are talking about the classification and rating. Once a risk has been accepted, the underwriters assigned a classification and rating on it. This involves assigning the risk to a specific group or class and assigning a rate based on the level of risk. Insurer may have their own classification and rating system, or they may use a system provided by a rating. So yeah, after selection of the risk, they are putting the rating for particular of shares. So in that case, based on the risk, they are putting A plus plus or B plus B minus. So based on the risks, it will be helpful for the investors to invest in those shares. Next, we are having next function, that is a policy form. After determining the acceptability of an applicant and assigning the proper classification and rating, the underwriter issues an insurance policy. It is essential for the underwriter to have knowledge about the various policy types that exist and that have ability to adapt the policy format to match the requirements of the applicant. So underwriters are also taking part into the policy forms, and when they are accepting the application, they are also taking care of various kind of policy which has been followed or not. If it has not been followed, then they are literally rejecting the application form. Retention and reinsurance. The final function of underwriting is retention and reinsurance. The underwriters determine the level of risk that the insurer can retain and secure reinsurance for the remaining risk. This helps to protect the insurer from undue financial strain in the event of a loss. So at the end, they are providing various services to the investor. They are also assuring the investor about their risk of investment, and if there is a risk in the investment, they are providing the proper help to that to protect the insurers or purchasers interest. So we will stop here. Next class we will discuss about the more of it. Thank you.